Okay, I know y'all asking, why does she have on a coat in the house? Y'all, it's because I got the heater on and I got on sweats, professional at the top, party at the bottom, and I'm still cold. Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Chanel B. If you are new here, welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back, baby. Okay, y'all, so I didn't want to leave y'all high and dry like how I always do, posts and go-goes. So I was like, you know what? January, the way January has January before in the past. So I just let January go. You guys know I had to relocate to Minneapolis from Miami. So that's been a big adjustment to my new job. And can I just tell you that I'm excited. I'm so excited. And I feel like I'm settled in. My living room is still empty, but we are gonna get my bedroom together this weekend. We're gonna do it little by little. I've only been here for like 2-3 weeks, so nevertheless, the place will be empty for a little bit until I get all the things that I really, really want. I'm just on a world tour, y'all. I'm on a world tour. I'm young, I'm single, I'm fun, I have no kids, and I'm ready to take on the world. So anyways, we're getting back to the video. So we're gonna talk about life on the other side of failure. When I tell you, me and failure was going together real bad. And I don't say that to like knock myself or make myself feel bad or anything like that because I don't. I feel like the last decade of my life has literally been ups and downs. So last decade, I'm 34, so that's 24, 25, I'll say 26 at the most. I feel like I went through like an entire decade of just constant failure after failure. Some of them I have actually shared with y'all. So it's nothing new. So anyways, what made me actually want to do this video is because of course I've been posting on Instagram. If you're not following me over there, then what are you doing with your life? A girl actually commented underneath one of my pictures, and I'm gonna try to tag it somewhere. But she said that it said something along the lines of like, I don't know you personally, but like to see your glow up has been really like, whoa, like it has been like mind boggling. And I'm just stepping in here to tell you like, you're doing it. Like God is showing out for you, you're doing it. And I love that message because sometimes I feel like it would be nice for us to kind of get messages like that when we're along our journey so that it can help us and let us know that kind of those are those little pockets of hope and pockets of joy that let us know that we're on the right track, like we're doing the right thing. Just stay the course. The people see you. That comment alone really made me feel like, okay, this girl is on to something. And that really inspired me to make today's video because I want to let y'all know, even the little setbacks that I've showed you guys, like in YouTube videos and on Instagram and things like that, has been like a smidget of what I have actually gone through. So on the other side of failure, winning in your 30s after constantly losing. I've listed 5 points. If you see me, I'm looking at my notes because I've had so many years of failures. I am the best spokesperson for how to win on the other side of 30 after losing for so many years, right? First things first is you have to get real with yourself. That can look like a whole bunch of things for a whole bunch of people. But more specifically, let me tell you what I did as far as coming out on the other side and winning after losing for so many years. You have to get to the point where you're real with yourself and you define what's winning to you and you figure out what route you need to take in order to get you set up on a path. You have to get real with yourself because you may have a lot of people around you. People take this for granted. Now, this is one thing that people take for granted. That's why a lot of times when you hear people like Steve Harvey's and the Tyler Perry's and stuff and the Oprah Winfrey's, and they're like, get around some people who want the same things you want and this and that. When I tell you, y'all, I used to cringe because I would hear that advice so damn much. I'm like, everybody's lying. At this point, everybody's just saying it because it sounds good. Everybody is lying. Well, come to find out, these people are not lying. You have to be real with yourself. For me, let me tell you what that looked like. First of all, I had a bad attitude. The reason I had a bad attitude because my life was shitty. I was broke. I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing. I wasn't living life at my fullest potential, and I was watching everybody else around me win. But it was really because of the fault of my own, right? So I got real with myself, and I realized that, it's not the fact that I'm losing and I'm not winning because God doesn't want me to win or God wants me to lose. It was because I was self-sabotaging. So my self-sabotage looked like I would talk to myself poorly. I would eat all types of like nasty foods all the time, like consistently eating nasty foods, right? Not just doing a weekend binge or a Saturday binge, but like I would consistently eat nasty. I wasn't working out my body consistently, right? Like I would have these spurts where I would go hard and do really, really good, but it never was sustainable. Like I never sustained it for a long period of time. I did not have really good habits, okay? Great habits make for great lives. Once I got that in my head, it made me feel like, okay, the universe is not against me. The universe is not against me. The universe actually wants me to win. God wants me to win. It's just, I gotta want me to win. Then I had to identify and define what was winning for me. Like what did that look like? So winning for me now, guys, this is for me. I wanna have multiple forms of income. This is what I wanted. Winning for me, multiple streams of six-figure incomes, right? So I wanted a 9-to-5 that worked my mind technically, right? That like really exercised my brain, because when my brain is not exercised and I'm not working my brain to like stretch, what tends to happen is I tend to get bored and easily, and I just don't feel like my mind is exercising itself, right? So I wanted to have a career that was gonna stretch my mind technically, but it had to make me six figures. It had to make me six figures, right? Most 9-to-5 jobs are not paying six figures, okay? Let's just get that right there. So the second thing is that I realized that I want to have some creative genius space, my content creation, my fashion stuff, my content creation. And that needs to make me six figures. And then my third little, plan, trinity of action is I want to create a small business where I'm selling like actual physical products, right? And that needs to make me six figures. So for me, winning for me was being able to take care of myself. Like, I don't want to have to check my bank account when I'm about to pay for dinner, when I'm about to pay for drinks, when I'm about to buy something for myself. I want to know that I got the money there, but that I also have money in other spaces, like the high yield savings account, something building for my future, having my bills paid. But also if somebody needed me in my family or my circle of friends, they can reach out to me and ask me for money as well. But as far as winning and how I went about getting my money and attacking all of these things, the number one thing is I realized winning for me looked like being financially abundant. Whether you need to make a vision board, you need to make some lists, you need to put it on your computer or your phone. That is what winning looks like for you, so that you can hold on and always have a point of reference. Anytime life is getting too crazy, you're remembering, okay, I need to do this because I need to do this, that, and the third, and I need to win. You need to start creating and formulating a plan of action. A lot of times and this is something that kind of annoys me a little bit, and it has recently started annoying me. I'll say maybe in the last 2 or 3 years, it has started annoying me because I've become someone who is firm on, if you have something that you want to do, stop talking about it so much and start working your plan. A lot of people, I realized, and this was a part of my circle, a lot of people that were a part of my circle were so used to doing this, like so used to doing this, that they didn't even realize that they were talking themselves into the never-ending abyss of, I want to do this. Oh, I have dreams of doing this. I want to have this big old house. I want to have this. And there is no plan of action. The second thing I want to give you guys that really helped me get to that other side of winning after so many years of losing, I feel like in my 30s, is learning to be okay with being isolated. I feel like my situation is different because I was almost forced to be by myself, okay? I have so many thoughts on this because, yes, I believe that you do need to create a group of people around you who motivates you, who inspires you, who pushes you to do great things because they're doing great things themselves, right? And you're inspired by that. And you want to rise to the occasion as well because you see how it is affecting their lives and is helping their lives. However, I solely believe that when you are about to get to that space of winning, there's this period of isolation. I used to hear a lot of people talk about it, but I actually went through it. This period of isolation where I'm talking about you feel like you have nothing, no one, right? And that may be the furthest thing from the truth, but you feel like me and my friends are, we're partying, like we're distancing, we're not fighting like crazy, but we're distancing ourselves. Certain family member, you're distancing yourself. Just, your group of people who you used to hang with, you're doing something different on the weekends from what they're doing. It's this period of isolation that I cannot explain, but it's going to happen. It's almost like it has to happen, right? It's like a shedding period. And so that is exactly what happened to me, y'all. I'm talking about friends who I've had for decades. People who I hung out with decades. It was like God was literally putting me in a space of isolation, and I had no choice but to focus and hone in on what I was trying to do because I had nobody. And sometimes having people around can be a complete distraction. Until you can get yourself on your feet and at a steady kind of pace, sometimes that isolation and being alone is going to save you. I saw somebody make a post that said 6 months of isolation can set you up for the next 5 years. Them people not lying. It's not just an Instagram meme or quote. Them people not lying. It is the God honest truth. I think for the last 6 months, I have been by myself the most I've ever been. And I've been detaching from any and everything that doesn't align with my new life. And y'all, I have been so much better because of it. So that is bound to happen. It's going to happen. And you have to be absolutely okay with being in this season. It's a season because it doesn't last long. But you have to be okay with being in the season of isolation. So the third point I want to make to you guys, something that I've had to deal with on my winning side after so many years of losing, is take risk and don't take no for an answer, right? I hate to say this, y'all. You have to be relentless. Y'all, this new industry, you guys know I'm in the tech space now. I went from insurance to tech, okay? I have been doing insurance for a very long time. Being in the tech space, I had to be relentless because I had to utilize some education that I had from back in high school and some more recent work experience and work projects. I had to literally hone in on those projects and things that I've done in my other jobs to make it seem like I was just this awesome fit for being in tech, right? And more specifically, I'm in cybersecurity. I know someone asked me that in the last video. I'm in cybersecurity. So come to find out, I literally had to make my experience more than what it was, for lack of better words. And I ended up putting in over 450 job applications in order to break into tech, and I eventually did. That was about 2 months of work I done. I had to take some extra courses to prepare me for the job that I'm doing now. I had to be relentless because I knew that being in this industry and being in this space for cybersecurity was going to change my entire life. And it did. I'll say collectively 3 months later from the time I made the decision up until the time I signed my offer letter, it was about 3 months a duration. And I was relentless in those 3 months, y'all. I literally went to sleep back on my mama's couch. Every single day I was on my mama's couch. My back was hurting. I was in pain. Shoulders, neck, everything hurted. I was like this, laser focused. And I'm so much better because of it. You have to be relentless. You have to take risk, and you have to take no for an answer. I was getting a bunch of no's. And I was getting a bunch of no's, and I didn't stop. Taking risks, talk about taking a risk. I never been to the Midwest a day in my life. Never, okay? Didn't even visit here or anything. And I literally packed up all my belongings in like 3 large suitcases. You guys should know the story by heart now. And I moved up here. You talk about an act of faith. Don't know anyone. Didn't know if I was gonna like it. Didn't really know what the people of the company were made of. I mean, of course, I did my research and I, checked out the culture and things like that. But I could have came here and it could have been something completely different, right? So I said all of that to say I took risk. I stepped out on faith, and I did not take no for an answer. And I was relentless. All of those things really combine under one umbrella for me because you have to have all 3. You got to be relentless, you got to take risk, and you can't take no for an answer, right? So that is what it looks like on the other side of winning at 30. You didn't probably take those types of risks in your 20s, but now you're getting closer to that 40, 50, 60 age stage, and you looking at your life like, holy shit, is this all I got? Or this is all I'm working with? Oh, hell no, you better up the ante. And that's exactly what I did. I upped the ante, and life shit been sweet ever since, okay? Last thing that I want to actually talk about, after so many losing seasons of my life, finally winning in my 30s and really my mid 30s, because I'm 34 years old. I'm not even 30. So I'm 34. And that's another lesson in itself. Like, when you turn 30, I always see people when they turn 30, they're like, oh, I'm so grown, I'm so this. No, it's not. It's a fad. It's a trend. Turning 30, you don't even feel grown like that. Like, no, you don't. When you get like mid 30s, end of 30s, beginning, that's when you be like, oh shit, life is really just starting. Building a relationship with God and cultivating it. This actually should have been number 1 instead of the last one. But I'm gonna tell you guys, I'm gonna close this up. I'm gonna tell you guys something. And I'm gonna be as transparent as I possibly can. Because I'm your big sister. And I don't want you to make the same mistakes I made, okay? I have had a constant battle with dating the wrong man for as long as I can remember, child. Since I was about 16 years old, I love me some boys with some dirty shoes, with some dirty mouths, and just dirty. And so I was really talking about how much I love God. I grew up in the church. And love God, remember giving my life to Christ at like 13, 14 years old, at my first job. And I was a girl whose heart was really after God from the time I can remember, right? And so I said that to say, for as long as I've been loving God, I've been in willing sin, what I call willing sin. And the number one willing sin that we tend to not take serious, or we tend to like skip over, is we feel like, oh, we treat people good, we so nice, we just... Somebody told me, a pastor told me a long time ago, somebody who I love and trust, a youth pastor, was like, good people go to hell all the time. Y'all ain't the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. I said that to say, being nice and being cool with everybody, yeah, people can term you as a good person, nice person, right? But it's really what that soul do. Really what your soul is talking about. And I was living in willing sin. I was fornicating outside of marriage when I should have been clank clank. And I would literally be talking about how much I love God, God this and the third. I always had God in my speech, but literally I was in willing sin almost every chance I got for a decade. Having my little boyfriends, having sex, smoking, drinking. I'm talking about doing all the things that the young people do. I was doing those things. Now, I know some people may say stuff like, oh, God gives grace. Oh, God forgives you, this and the third. The thing is, the reason they call it willing sin is because you're willingly doing it. So I'm not going to say that your life going to be in total condemnation because you're having sex. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is it gets to a point in time where you got to be held accountable for some of the stuff that you're doing, right? Will Smith says self-discipline equals self-love. That lets me know you can't just go out here willy-nilly running your life and living your life in willing sin that you know is sinful. It's because see, when we're young and we were doing what we were doing, a lot of times we didn't really know it was sin. But when you get to that age where you're like, oh, this is sin. And I know why, because I feel it in my spirit when I get out of this person's bed. I don't feel right the next day. My spirit is all jacked up because I'm smoking, I'm drinking, and I'm having sex and stuff like that. Like, you get to the point where you be like, this don't even feel good to me. Not like, let alone my soul, let alone my spiritual journey. Like, this shit don't even feel right to me. And when you get to that point, it's willing sin. And you keep doing, it's willing sin. Right? And so for me, I don't feel comfortable indulging in willing sin like that no more. I just don't. I don't know if it came with age. I don't know if it came with like life. And I'm seeing like, okay, I tried to go and do life the way I think I should do it. And it never worked out for me. But every time I kind of do it the way God want me to do it, it always ends up working out for me. So you know what? I'm tired of falling flat on my face. I'm going to go ahead and do what God telling me to do. Because this right here, I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it out. And that's why I say my relationship with God has totally changed. I literally feel like I have a father-daughter relationship with God. Before, it was just like, you know, very lukewarm. I'm here, I'm there, if I'm anywhere. But now it's more intentional. I make sure I have time where I'm praying. I make sure I'm journaling. I make sure I'm meditating. I make sure I'm reading my word. Even I told y'all in my last video, Proverbs. I've been eating Proverbs up, child. Still eating Proverbs up. I think this is my fourth time now. And the thing is that my relationship is getting better and better with God. And I'm starting to see things in myself that have been self-destructive. And God is like, see that? We got to change that. And I'm like, okay. If I wasn't in God's presence, I wouldn't be checking myself like that. I wouldn't be getting checked like that. Everything I would be thinking I'm doing is, oh, it's cool, it's fun, it's no biggie, whatever. Now, everything and every decision I make is directly linked to my future and how I'm going to live my life. That's how you got to get. You got to get to the point where you like, everything that I do now is going to have an effect on me, whether it be a good or bad. Which would you rather? Right now, I'm really trying to live the good, soft, easy life, because I've been losing so many years of my life. The last decade, I just told y'all. And it's just like, at this point, God, what you want me to do? Because I done ran out of answers. I done ran out of what to do. You got to get to the point where you like, you know what, God, bump it. Let's just do it your way. Your outcome for your life, it may be some hard seasons and some hard moments, but your life is going to be so much better because you decided to do things the way God intended for you to do, as opposed to you or what man intended for you to do. I've never seen, and I know some people can say, oh, people who don't believe in God, they're rich, they're living their lives. Let me tell you something. You never know what people are going through. You never know what people are going through. Let that be their testimony. Let your testimony be something. Let them say, oh, I did all this because of hard work, because of me, because of this, because of that. And let your testimony be something completely different. You'll be so much better for it. Your life is going to be so much better for it. And when I say your life, I'm talking about outside of the money, outside of the cars, outside of the clothes. Like your spirit is going to feel light. You're going to feel good. Y'all, ever since I've been here, I told my mama, I said, I've been on like a little trip. I be saying hi to everybody, even the people who rude, look like they don't want to talk to me. I be like, good morning. How you doing? Okay, well, hope your day gets better. I'm on the elevator. I'm being nice. I'm this, like energy is flowing through me. It's God's energy. It really is. I ain't up here faking the funk. I can't pretend. You know, I'm many miles away from home. I'm not pretending. It's that God has really took me and shifted my life. And I'm starting to exude that outside. So many nights of crying, being on my knees, praying to God. Now, what people are seeing, what that girl who sent me that comment, what people are seeing is the physical manifestation of God. I've been praying. I've been fasting. I've been meditating. I've been journaling. I've been doing all the things, attending church. You know, I've been doing all the things. What people are starting to see on the outside is the physical manifestation of all that behind the scenes work. So I hope this video, you're able to take something from it. I absolutely love you guys. We've grown. We got 1,300 subscribers. This year, I really want to get to 10,000 subscribers. I don't know if I can do it. If you know somebody in this video may be helpful to them, send it to them. Don't forget to comment below. Let me know where you're from. And also let me know what you took away from this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.